warm welcome.
Imagine walking into a room where everyone's talking, but no one's really asking anything. Everyone's just agreeing with what's been said and moving on. Now picture yourself standing up and asking why. My name is Heba Alawi, and today I will be talking to you about the underuse of why in this generation. In today's world, we don't ask why enough. We are surrounded by information. We can Google anything. We can scroll through endless feeds, and we can have the answers at our fingertips. But despite all this knowledge, we often forget to stop and think. Why is this the way it is? Why should I believe it? Why does it matter to me? The underuse of why is a problem. It's the key to understanding, to growing, and to improving not just ourselves, but the world around us. So I want you to ask yourself, when was the last time you asked why? Let's talk about why we need to bring it back. With the increasing use of why, we can become a more innovative generation. We can create new things, be more productive, and create a difference in the world. We just accept things without questioning them, like following rules we don't understand or believing information without knowing where it came from. We've got so used to knowing without understanding. It's like we're on autopilot, letting the world happen to us instead of asking, why should I care? Why is this happening? Why is this the right way? The sad part is, when we stop asking why, we stop growing, we stop learning, and we lose the power to change things. Big dreams require big acts. It requires for us to embody who we look up to, but by adding our own personal touch. Today's generation, it seems like why is used less and less. People, especially young people, fail to ask questions to understand the world around us. We just accept things and follow trends without wondering where they came from. In schools, for example, students often memorize facts without wondering how or why these facts matter. In a world where so much information is available, it's important to ask why, because it helps us grow and think critically and make better decisions. Without asking why, we might miss out on important lessons that help us grow and understand different perspectives. Many people think Gen Z is lazy, and yes, there might be some truth to that. Most of Gen Z spends a lot of their time on their phones or playing video games, which can make it seem like they're not doing much. A lot of Gen Z finds it much easier to do things that are easy or convenient, like ordering food instead of cooking or watching movies instead of going outside. Yes, it's true that technology has made life easier, but it means that we have stopped pushing ourselves to be active or take on hard challenges. While it's important to relax and enjoy life, it's also important to work hard and stay motivated. If Gen Z wants to succeed in life, they need to balance their screen time with real effort and determination. We don't want to be labeled the lazy generation, but yet we do nothing to diminish the stereotypes. We have continued to fail to attempt and try new things. We have created this thought and this trend that being smart and putting energy into things that are important to us is weird, and that fitting in and being normal is much better. Statistics from the Educative Data Initiative show that the percentage of students that go to college is dangerously decreasing. And yes, your dream might not require for you to go to college, but think about it. Don't you want to have the deepest understanding of what you love? Even if you want to be an athlete, an artist of any kind, or have big hopes to be a lawyer or a doctor, your wisdom will come out of your true understanding and mastery. In order to reach full potential of comprehension, we must step out of our comfort zone, and we must ask why. Yes, it may be uncomfortable to ask why in front of a lecture of over 30 students, but in the end, no one is going to think about how you asked that question at the Tuesday lecture. And maybe you asked their question. Wanting to know more and wanting to explore opportunities should not be seen as embarrassing and strange. Instead, we should encourage each other to work hard and make it normal to ask why. Because in the end, your understanding will rub off on people and create a domino effect, which will make them want to know more. Achieving our full potential will allow us as Gen Z to create, be more creative, and be more innovative. So, as a member of Gen Z, I am going to start putting more action into reaching my full potential. I will ask why, and I won't be embarrassed about it, and you should too. Asking why can and will open new doors and allow everyone around the world to understand to their full potential. But it all starts right here. The people in this room, your friends, your family, your cousins, everyone counts. I believe that we can do this. I have been Heban Ali. Thank you.